Let's take a trip back to the good old days of the Call of Duty franchise. Coming home from school to play these games was a great feeling for everybody. In my case, I had to play Black Ops on my Wii. Yes, you heard that correctly, my Nintendo Wii and my Wii remotes. One day I wanted to go over to my friend's house because he told me he had just picked up the new Call of Duty and he had the Xbox 360, which was the newest thing on the market. I headed over to his house and we began playing Call of Duty Black Ops. I soon fell in love with the Xbox 360 version. Me and him had no idea at all as to what we were doing, and we continued to die in the multiplayer matches that we played. But for some reason, dying over and over again without getting a kill all game was fun. We didn't get mad, we didn't get frustrated, and we didn't get bored. Once we found out about combat training, we were filled with happiness. I can remember me and him pulling all-nighters trying to beat the regular difficulty bots. We'd easily beaten the recruit bots, and then we found ourselves challenged by regular difficulty. And remember, I was about 10 to 12 years old, so staying up all night was hard for me. But something about playing this game, Call of Duty, was enough for me to put off sleep to focus on it. Once the first weekend with my friend and his Xbox was over, I begged my parents to buy me an Xbox 360 as well as Black Ops. They declined it, but I ended up getting a Nintendo Wii as well as the game. This gift changed my life forever. Eventually, I would be hooked onto the Call of Duty series. I went on to purchase Modern Warfare 3 and Modern Warfare Reflex for my Wii. All of the Call of Duty games had me in a gaming coma that I thought I would never get out of. I was constantly thinking about playing these games because they were so fun to me. My friend who had Black Ops 1 was also in this gaming coma. He had purchased even more Call of Duty games than I did, and that was absurd at the time because I spent all my money on video games. He bought Modern Warfare 1, Modern Warfare 2, and Modern Warfare 3, as well as Call of Duty World at War. The graphics were better on the Xbox, and he had more games than I did, so I begged to hang out with him more. I didn't just want to hang out with him because of his console. He was a good friend, but I enjoyed playing split screen with him. I wanted to test out my new skills that I learned when I was playing Call of Duty on my Wii, and I wanted to see if I could beat him, who was always better than me. It had been a year or so since I last saw him, and this was my time to shine, but I didn't expect this to happen. I got to my friend's house and we played outside for a couple hours. I always loved to be outside, so I didn't mind this. One thing on my mind though was that Xbox 360. I was in love with the game and I was slipping right back into that gaming coma I was talking about. It seemed like right when I got to his house, I only wanted to play the game. Everything in my mind was black except for Xbox. We went inside eventually and we ate food and then we chilled and watched YouTube. I asked, "Do you want to go play Call of Duty together?" But his answer shocked me. He told me that he didn't enjoy the game anymore. What? I was puzzled. I still had my Nintendo Wii and the same old games, and I wasn't bored, so how was he bored of it? He had the newest game, which was Black Ops 2, and a powerful console. This confused me, but soon he explained it all to me, and it all made sense. He basically said that he got bored of the game. He'd been playing it for about 2 years now, and he said it felt like the same game. Just a generic shooter game. I could understand what he was saying just because I looked up to him, but I didn't feel the same way, not even a little bit. The rest of the night, he introduced me to a new game that I knew a little bit about. He mentioned Minecraft. We played that the rest of the night, and we didn't play anything that had the name Call of Duty. That marked a turning point in the Call of Duty franchise. And that's not just for my friend. Me and the whole fan base were tired of it too. There had to be a reason for this. There was no reason for the most popular game to be falling off like this. There was something wrong. To think that your game is slowly losing popularity would suck, and you would hope that they did something about it. But that's the exact opposite of what they did. Once I got home, I played Black Ops, but his bias was still with me. I somehow found out what he was talking about. I was sitting there playing Call of Duty and then I got bored. For the first time ever, I was bored by this game. I was around Prestige 6 and I was not turning around until this night. I tried to play Modern Warfare 3. That was the newer game than Black Ops 1, but that was still boring. And Modern Warfare Reflex was already boring to me, so I didn't know what to do. What happened to the Call of Duty we all knew, and why did it feel different for all of us? Let's dive right into that. Call of Duty as we know it started in 2003 with the release of the original Call of Duty game. This game was reviewed well at the time, but in today's standards, it would be a boring shooter game. Throughout the next 10 years, we saw the game go from a normal shooter to an online paradise. We had new additions every year that mostly everybody enjoyed. Additions like Special Ops in the Modern Warfare series and Zombies in the Black Ops and World at War series were amazing paired with the fan favorite multiplayer. In 2013, Infinity Ward had released their biannual game. This game took on some pretty weird features that the community did not enjoy at all. For example, this multiplayer experience felt like hide and seek. It felt like this because every single map was around 2 times bigger than it should have been. SMGs were dominant, and if SMGs rule the game and your maps are super big, it's gonna be hard to kill people. The kill streaks weren't even worth going for, and they barely got any kills. Shortly after the launch of Call of Duty Ghosts, it was regarded as one of the worst, if not worst, Call of Duty games of all time. Personally, I liked it, but that's besides the point. The community had spoken, and we wanted change. We were getting bored of the run and gun shooter that we had gotten used to for 10 years now. We wanted something new, and we were begging for it. And for once, they listened to us. They listened to our requests, but the next Call of Duty game wasn't anything we ever would have expected. On November 4th, 2014, I remember it was my mom's birthday. I was in class and I was on my phone because I thought I was cool back then being on my phone in class, but I was texting my mom and I told her that the newest Call of Duty game is coming out today, and it was her birthday. And my gift to her was for her to buy me the game. Seems scummy, but I was a little kid, I wanted my game, and it was on her birthday. So what did I do? I made her buy me the game. I got home, the game was on the counter, and I haven't seen any videos prior to this, so I did not know what was going to go on with this game. I didn't know if it was new or if it was just going to be the same old game, but I was kind of excited for a new Call of Duty experience for the most part. I came home, updated the game, and started to play. I loaded up a custom game, and once I clicked a couple buttons, I could not believe my eyes. I was double jumping and boosting everywhere. What was going on? I didn't like this one bit, and I didn't want to get used to this weird movement style. And the community agreed with me. The amount of Advanced Warfare hate videos on YouTube is astounding. Soon after the release of the game, it was dubbed as the worst Call of Duty game of all time. Back-to-back years, back-to-back horrible games. Many fans of the Call of Duty franchise flocked to other games in hopes of having the fun that they used to have with Call of Duty, but there were still new fans coming in every single day. If we think about the YouTubers who posted Black Ops 2 content, you can think about pretty much every FaZe member and all of the trollers and Ali A, and there was just so many. And then if you think about the Advanced Warfare people who uploaded YouTube videos, that's not even that many people. Many of them switched content simply because the game was not fun anymore. After these games were released, we had Black Ops 3, which gained some fans back, but didn't really help the series that much. After Black Ops 3, they released Infinite Warfare. Infinite Warfare's trailer has the 6th most dislikes on a YouTube video. With 3.8 million dislikes, you guys can guess how the community reacted to that game. With Infinite Warfare, they released a game called Modern Warfare Remastered, and that was an updated and upgraded version of one of the first Call of Duty games that the community loved. The only reason Infinite Warfare had pretty much any sales was because of the pre-order bonus that it came with, and that was Modern Warfare Remastered. They released Call of Duty World War II, which everybody thought was going to rejuvenate the Call of Duty franchise, a game that is boots on the ground. We were used to jetpacks and jumping around for the last 3 years, but it came and nobody really liked it. We just couldn't decide what we wanted. Every time they would switch something in a game, or every time we asked for change, they would change it, but we didn't enjoy it. And last but not least, Black Ops 4. This didn't sit very well with the Call of Duty community either. we just can't find anything we like. Having 6 out of 7 games be failures helped Call of Duty go down the drain in terms of popularity. Call of Duty still sells every year very well, but the amount of loyal fans that the game has and the amount of YouTubers talking about it, as well as the amount of sales in general, has went down. And all of this happened because it got boring and because of microtransactions. Slowly but surely, supply drops and currency that you can spend money on were filling Call of Duty games up with stuff we didn't want. Nobody wanted this, they just wanted to play a shooter game. We asked for change and we got it, just not how we expected to get it. This franchise was simply ruined by a lack of fun content and too much content that needed money. It started out as a fun online shooter, but became a yearly money grab.